Hey, chickies. Who wants to come out and flop about? They say we all do. Baduck to you too. Baduck. Let's flop in. Penny, you coming out? Chuck says you better get out here, girly. He was waiting on her. We got a fence put up around our onions. Keep them out. And that's a good thing. Huh, guys? Yeah, Baduck. Who wants treats? Oh, yeah, we all do. Chuck says, your hand, please. That is Nuggy and Chuck. So Bobby on YouTube asks about hatching chicks. Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't even know you.
It's okay. Did you plant?
No, I didn't.
I was going to say Nugget Head is over there in the middle of it. Come on, chickies.
I don't know if that's so good for her.
No. Oh, it's Little Peep. So Little Peep is my mama hen. And she is the one that normally hatches eggs. But Nuggy has gone broody, and so has Henny Penny. This is known to be a broody breed. But Bobby asked about how to know that the eggs are fertilized, and so we're going to talk about hatching chicks a little bit with a broody mama, because it's the only way I've ever hatched. Everybody has a different method for everything. I'm just going to tell you about how I do it, not how anybody else does it or how it should be done, just what works best for me. And what I have done, well, number one, you have to have a rooster to have fertilized eggs. And if you have a rooster, pretty much all eggs are fertilized unless you have too many hens for your rooster. The normal ratio is 1 rooster for every 10 to 12 hens. Of course, I have 6 hens, and I have no doubt that our eggs are fertilized. So you never wash the eggs. I just take them as they're laid and put them in an egg box on the counter. And once I have one full, it goes in the refrigerator without being washed. And I'll start a new box. And when I get a hen that goes broody, then I will mark the eggs. I'll take a Sharpie and make a line all the way around it, and a line just here and there so I know which ones are the ones I've given her. And I leave her with her flock. Now, have I had chickens to get in with her in her egg box? And yeah, they fight over the eggs. I've had chickens that want to take over brooding after she's done the majority of the work. All right, here we go. But it's worked well like that for me. For me, it has worked well, just leaving her in with the other hens. What I do to check if the chicks are growing, and it is not necessary at all but I'm interested. But I come out late at night when everybody's sleeping, and I have a flashlight. And I have taken the top, the round part, off of my flashlight so that it doesn't bulge up. You'll see how it bulges up there. But once I take the top out of the flashlight, which is pretty easy to do, I will go, like I said, I do it at night, and I'll candle the eggs. Where are you flying to? Where are you flying to? That was Nugget. And how I candle the eggs, I do it usually at 8 days in, sometimes a little further in. It just depends on when I feel like coming out here at night. And I will get the egg. Let me see if I can do this and show you how I do it. Now that I've got just about everybody out of my fertilized bed, they want to eat that fertilizer. No, 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 Chuck. But the egg will set easily on top of that light, and I cover it with the majority of my hand, and the light shines through it, and you can see veins. It's pretty interesting how that works. I have tried water candling before, and we've actually taken an egg that mama hen has kicked out and set it in the trash, thinking that she kicked it out, but it was an accident. My husband took it back to her, and every egg hatched. So we almost threw away a healthy baby, and that would have been horrible. So usually what she does is on hatch day, she's going to stay there until everybody hatches. And if there's any eggs that she believes are not going to hatch, and some happen to be quitters, that happens, she gets up off the nest and she'll go and start teaching the kids how to eat. Calling them over to the feed and that kind of thing. No, no, no. No, no, no. Getting them water. Because she's a good mama. She is a good mama hen. Little Peep's the best mama. But then once all the eggs start hatching, we put a divider in that just gives her the food and water that she needs, along with the chicks. And if we didn't have the divider in, hey, that was rude. No wonder little red hen doesn't like any of you. But if we didn't put the divider in, the chickens would eat the food, and the chicks and mom wouldn't have food, and they have plenty of food outside. And the other situation is it's natural. Chickens are just, they're just chickens. They're not the smartest things in the world. But it's natural for them to peck at something that's dark. And I have heard horror stories about chicks having their eyes pecked out. And rather than risk something like that, we just put our divider in. I've heard people say that they take the eggs and the mom to a different place and let her hatch by herself, and that's an option. It's not something that we do. We like to leave her alone where she is. We've just not tried that. Something else when you're hatching eggs is when you're 5 days out, some people say it's 3, but when it's 5 days to hatching, little red hen, you go on. I don't touch them. When it's 5 days out to hatching, I do not touch the eggs. I let mom on her own, and she'll come out once a day and have food and water, and then she goes right back to her babies. You will hear them start peeping prior to hatching. It's pretty amazing. Our last hatch hatched 3 days early, and I think we had one early bird and it got everybody else hatching. Where are you going, Chuck? I can't go all the way around me. No carrots. No, no, no. She says, "What are you doing with my egg?" But that's just how we do it. Now, does it hurt to separate them and do all that kind of thing? No, it doesn't. Now, I'm going to tell you, the people that say to leave the eggs in the nest, this is why I wait until she goes broody. Chuck, no, no. I need to work on his comb. But we have gone camping for several days and come back to at least a dozen eggs in the box, and nobody is broody on them. I don't believe that leaving eggs in the box causes a chicken to go broody. They go broody in their own time frame. Isn't that right? She says, yes, that's right. Yeah, we go broody in our own time frame, not when you want us to. But pretty much all eggs, if you have a rooster and you have the right ratio, are going to be fertilized. The last time we hatched, there was an egg left and we just discarded it because Mom was done sitting. When she's done sitting, she's done sitting. I was wondering where my chickens went, and I have found them at the generator. They're about to go scratching around the house. But I hope this answers the questions on fertilized eggs. I assume that knowing if your eggs are fertilized or not has to do with hatching chicks. But that's just me. Now, it does not hurt to eat fertilized eggs unless they are at a temperature, I believe they have to be at 98 for them to actually start growing. So unless they're in a temperature of that degree, they're not going to start growing. Isn't that right, Chuck? Yeah, Baduck. His feet are red, red, red. If you had other questions that I didn't answer, just ask in the description box and I'll try and answer your questions. Another interesting fact is that hens, once they're mated, they stay fertilized, I believe, for 2 weeks. I've heard people say up to 4 weeks. I don't know how verifiable that is. But yeah. One of the reasons that I don't separate is we don't have a snake-proof enclosure to put the eggs and mama in. And we have actually had a snake to kill and eat one of our 8-week-old chicks. It was fully feathered. So there's always that. The other thing, I mentioned predators yesterday. If you think you don't have predators, there's always hawks in the sky. What are you doing, you cray-cray? So when you think there's no predators, you'd be surprised. It's time to go home. He's rounding up his girls. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and share. Thanks for sharing time with us. We hope you have a great week ahead. Baduck, baduck, baduck. Can you guys say goodbye? They say baduck. Yeah, Chuck's saying it. Buck, buck, buck. Baduck, baduck, baduck. Baduck.